Okay, so it's been a bit. It's been about 3 months since I made my last video, and in my last video I talked about my PlayStation trophy collection. And back then I had like 83, 84 platinums. I think it was like 83. Now I've reached 100 in the past 3 months, and I did want to do like an update video for Platinum 100 just because it is a big milestone for me. And because a lot of you actually liked the video that I put out last time, so that's pretty cool. I honestly didn't expect people to even care about it like a trophy collection video, but I guess enough people did, to the point where I do want to continue making these. It won't be like the only thing on this channel, don't worry if you're like here for the other stuff, but yeah, let's just get into it, because I have some things to talk about with these games. Alright, so what a way to start off with Ape Escape on the PS4. Now, this was the first platinum I got after, what was it, Nick All-Star Brawl. That was the last video, or last game I covered in my last video. After that, I got Ape Escape sometime in June, like shortly after the video came out. And that is because the new PlayStation Plus Premium and PlayStation Plus Extra services came out. And I did buy the service for at least 3 months. I think it runs out in December. We'll see if I keep that subscription, Sony. We'll see if you keep adding games to that service. That's a whole nother story. But, yeah, I was kind of excited to see what games were being added to this service, because the PlayStation Premium service, at least, was supposed to add PS1 games, PS1 and PSP games to the service with trophy support. And we got that with Ape Escape, which is really cool, because I never played this game. It's a game I've always wanted to play ever since I saw, what's his name, Spike, I think his name is Spike, in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale on PlayStation 3. I saw that character, oh, and the Little Big Planet costume of Ape Escape Monkey. Also, monkeys are just cool, so obviously I was excited for this. And this is a really good game. Like, I am surprised I did not play this game sooner. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't grow up with this series, to be honest with you. But Ape Escape 1 was a fun time. It's just a game where you go through different levels and capture monkeys, and it's fun. Like, there wasn't much to this platinum. Obviously, this is an easy platinum. Like, you don't even need to like beat the game, technically. Is that true? Wait, no. You don't have to technically... I think you do have to beat the game. Maybe not, though. Maybe not, though. You don't have to 100% complete the game. It really is as simple as just capturing 100 monkeys, which you'll have plenty of monkeys by the end of the game. Like, you'll probably, most likely, have more than 100. And then going back and getting the Spectre coins, if you missed any. I don't even think I missed any. Maybe I did? Also, getting all the gadgets, which is, I think, tied to the story mode. The only gadget I don't think is tied to story mode is Obtain the Magic Punch, which you get after beating the game. I'm pretty sure. And these 3 trophies are easy as well. You just play the mini games on the left side of the hub area, and you just play them. You don't even have to like beat them or anything. Just play them, and you got it. You got the gold trophy. It's funny how they're gold trophies. I'm surprised this game has a platinum, because Ape Escape 2 on the PS2, when they released that and emulated that, did not have a platinum, and I'm pretty sure that Ape Escape 2 platinum is way harder than Ape Escape 1. I think it's actually pretty hard compared to this one. I haven't played Ape Escape 2 yet because I refuse to play it on PlayStation 5. That game is broken on PS5. It has so many visual glitches, and I don't know why they haven't fixed the emulation yet, but it's really sad to see when they put that game on their service and didn't do anything about that. That's disappointing. Moving on to the Artful Escape, which is, again, another PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra. I don't know the difference between the two, to be honest with you. I know one of them gives you the classic games, another one gives you like a bunch of games, like indie, first party, and third party games, and Artful Escape is one of those. Speaking of which, there's like I think the next 7 games are from the service that I purchased, so yeah, I took advantage of that a lot for the Platinums, and I will be taking advantage of it in the future. Hopefully in the next 2 months before it runs out, we'll see. But the Artful Escape is an indie game by Annapurna Interactive, which is one of my favorite indie studios. They put out so many great games with just pretty chill Platinums. Sorry about my phone. They put out just pretty chill games with pretty chill Platinums. Nothing too hard, nothing too easy. Well, actually, this one was pretty freaking easy. But it was just a cool game. I remember it being like 3 hours long, and maybe I am spoiling the game a little bit, by showing the trophy names. It's not really a rhythm game, but it has to do with music, if that makes any sense. It's like an adventure. It's a ride. It's like dude, I don't even know how to explain this game. You have to play it yourself to really find out. But there's not really any combat. You're just kind of running around with a guitar, making things come alive with your music, and just like it's really just a story about this character that just wants to show off his inner rock star, right? It's a pretty cool game. I don't really know what else to talk about with it, because the trophies don't really require you to do anything. There are like very specific things you have to do, and it has a chapter select, so none of them are missable. You can go back and just complete whatever you need to do, but most of these you'll do on the way of beating the game. And it is, like I said, 3 hours, not much work required. It was a fun time though. And oh boy, here we go. I.Q Intelligent Cube. Now, I had a bit of trouble with this one for a little bit. This is another PS1 game that got a Platinum trophy and a trophy list with the PS Plus service. And at first, I did not like this game. I thought, I don't know, I wasn't good at it. First of all, I just didn't like it. But I played it again, and I started to really like it. It's a puzzle game. And this Platinum, if you look at it, it says get a perfect on stage 6 and 7 and 8 in the final stage. Like this does sound hard, and it is to an extent. However, with these PlayStation 1 games, you can actually you could rewind. You could rewind the emulation to a point where you didn't lose. So technically, if you want to get a perfect, you can just rewind and get a perfect. You don't have to worry about messing up. And it's kind of cheesy to do so, but that's definitely what I did. And that's what all of my friends did as well who played this game. And it is a fun game. I think rewinding does kind of ruin the purpose, but it does get a little tough near the end. So it's a little bit understandable if you want to use the rewind. I think if you lose, you have to start over from the beginning of the game. I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I.Q Intelligent Cube. Again, not much to talk about here. I'm going to say that for a lot of games up until the end. There's a couple games I want to talk about in depth, but I.Q Intelligent Cube is not one of them. And speaking of which, I got another Platinum for that game. I get double stacked it. It's not an auto pop. I had to do this whole Platinum again, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with that. And I do like double stacking Platinums, like I said. It gives me a reason to like get another Platinum, of course, but sometimes I do want to play these games again. And I was honestly down to play this game again, too, because I got it the first time around a little bit, but when I played this game a second time, I got the Platinum done way faster. I knew what I was doing, and it just clicked with me the second time, like, instantly. And I like that. I like playing through it a second time. Last Stop. Oh, here we go. Last Stop. This is a Telltale-like game. It's a story game in a way, where you take control of 3 different characters. And these 3 characters have... I'm not even going to show the trophies, really. These 3 characters have their diverging paths. They're not really related at all, up until near the middle to the end of the story. It's just a weird game. Like, there's a really weird story. Like, at first it seems pretty normal, right? it seems pretty normal at first, but it gets kind of crazy. And honestly, I had a great time with it. The trophy, again, platinum, it's a story game. Like, you don't really have to do anything. There's no combat, there's no challenges to overcome. There's a couple of things you gotta look out for, and if you don't look out for them, you have to replay the chapters and get the miscellaneous trophies. Minit. Here we go, Minit. This is a cool game that I heard about a long time ago. It's by Devolver Digital, who is a really good indie developer, indie studio. They make a lot of great games, publish a lot of great games, and Minit is one of them. Minit is like a Legend of Zelda game, and every time you spawn, you have 1 minute to live your life and do things to progress the game. But it is a neat little game, and it definitely didn't take me a minute to get the platinum, but it didn't take a whole day. It took a couple hours. And you do have to 100% complete the game, and it's a very short game, so you could do that pretty easily. I followed a guide for some of these trophies just because they were very specific. I would not have been able to follow or get these myself without like looking them up, like getting all the hearts and stuff like that. I think there's some other things, but yeah, completing the game, you have to complete the game once, you have to complete the game a second time, you have to complete the game with 100% of the items, coins, and hearts. But, to be fair, you can get most of these done with each other. You could stack these. So, like, completing the game with 100% of the items, coins, and hearts, you can also get with the second run. So it's pretty easy to, like, stack these playthroughs so you don't have to play through the whole game a bunch of times. The game is very short, like itself, the first run won't take you very long at all. If you know what you're doing, if you maybe look up a guide and see where you have to go, if you need it, you don't have to you'll beat the game pretty fast, and it won't take you that long. I do totally recommend this game. Like, I've been sleeping on this game for so long, like I've seen it for years, maybe since it came out, and I just like ignored it. I thought it was kind of lame. Like, it looked kind of lame. It's only black and white. The colors are only black and white. It looked like a... I said lame, but it looked like a game I wouldn't be into. That's what I was trying to say. And I just ignored it. And I played it, and I was like, wow, okay, maybe this game is pretty cool. I like the whole minute mechanic where you have a minute to live and do things around the map. It's pretty cool. And this is another game on the PlayStation Plus service that I purchased, the PS Premium, PS Extra. I'm actually surprised it had a platinum. Like, I didn't even know this game had a platinum when I downloaded it. I was just gonna play it, but it had a platinum, so I looked up the platinum, and it was pretty easy. So that's cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I did not get the platinum for that, but it is a really good game. I beat that in a 2-hour session with a friend. Crash Bandicoot, I am actually working on that platinum. I think one day I will get it. It is hard, but it's doable, and I think I could get the Crash Platinum one day. I want to actually work towards all of those games. I'm probably not going to get 4, even though Crash 4 is my favorite Crash game, I think? Nah. I know Crash 4 is really good. Like, it's probably my second favorite Crash game, but obviously nostalgia bias goes towards Crash Twinsanity, because that was the Crash game I played as a kid, and I'm really hoping for a remaster. Hot Shots Golf, kill me now. This trophy, or this platinum, wasn't as hard. It wasn't hard up until a point, right? Like, it's a golf game. You just play the courses, you beat all of the different CPUs, unlock the characters, and wow, getting an Albatross is not as easy as you think. This and get a hole-in-one on a regular course, like, obviously, this one was easier than this one, just based off of the percentage. This was one of the hardest trophies I think I've done in a while. I didn't expect it for me to take this long, but I put like 15-20 hours into this game, just, well, not just for this trophy, but just like, dude, oh my god. And this is like, the Albatross trophy is not like it's not just a me thing. Like, a lot of people were stuck on this trophy for a little bit. Probably not as much as me, but I was stuck. It's just really hard to line up. Like, even with the rewind. Like, the rewind definitely helps, If this game didn't have rewind, it would be a much harder platinum to get. Just lining up the shots in this game is so damn hard. It's just a really primitive golf game, and they've made so many Hot Shots golfs. Actually, this is the studio that made the Mario Golf games. They made so many Mario Golf games and Hot Shots golf games after this that have just refined the mechanics of their golf game. Camelot is good at making golf games, but this is their first one, and it shows. Anyways, Fall Guys. I've already gotten the Fall Guys Platinum, as you may know from my previous video. This is a very hard Platinum. This is the third Fall Guys Platinum I've gotten. This is the European stack. The game went free to play, and I downloaded the game for free off of my European accounts. Played it with my accounts because it automatically logs you into Epic Games, and I got a free Platinum out of it. I know people, like, I'm surprised more people didn't call me out on this in my previous video, but yes, I do auto pops when I can. Like, yes, I don't earn the actual trophy myself, but I already earned it once. And if I have the option to earn an auto pop, if the game developer gives me the option to transfer my save to get an auto pop platinum, I'm probably gonna do it. People are really against it though, and I guess I get it, but it's just whatever, man. Like, don't even care about it, I guess. Sonic Origins. Oh, here we go. Sonic Origins. So Sonic Origins is the collection of Sonic games, classic Sonic games, that include Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. People had a lot of problems with this collection, most of which I still don't really understand. I mean, I watched a video and everything about the problems this collection had, and I don't know. I didn't really experience much of the problems, to be honest with you. I think this collection is just fine. I didn't have many problems at all. Like, people were talking about how there were glitches, how the games didn't feel right. I had really no problems whatsoever. The only problem I think I went through was getting stuck in like a wall once. Throughout all 4 games, throughout my 15 hours, there was like one glitch I came across, and that is it. Another problem people had with this collection is the music in Sonic 3. They replaced the Michael Jackson music, which is very iconic from the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles, changed it to I think the CD-ROM versions of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but a remix, a pretty inferior remix, not of the CD-ROM. It's complicated, right? So there was, I'm not gonna go through all of this, but like, dude, the music in this game was changed, and that upset a lot of people. I could understand that. And for a person that actually grew up with these games on the Sonic Mega Collection on GameCube, I gotta say, I don't really miss the Michael Jackson songs too much, to the point where I complain about the collection on Twitter.com and like say I'm not gonna buy it because of that, because I don't think that's much of a big deal to me. I think honestly, the music tracks in this version of the game, compared to the Michael Jackson tracks, there's only like 3 songs that were changed. I think they're okay. I don't think they're terrible. I also don't think they're very good. I do like the compositions. I do like how they sound in like the Sonic 3 beta, because that's what they're based on. They're based on an early version of Sonic 3's soundtrack. And I do like those versions a lot better. But I'm not going to go too much on it. The Sonic 3, the Sonic Origins Platinum, as you would expect, was pretty easy. All you have to do is clear all of the games and just turn into Super Sonic and do some missions. There's a mission mode in this game that is honestly pretty easy. You have to get an S rank on I think 40 missions, and they were pretty fun actually. I liked doing them. They kind of reminded me of the Sonic Generation missions, and they weren't too hard. There's a couple in there that, nah, they weren't too hard. Not at all. Play mirror mode, just boot that up, get the trophy, unlock stuff in the art collection with coins, defeat a total of 200 enemies. Like, this stuff is really easy. To be honest, I have a theory, and I think third parties, and especially first party Sony, is just easing up on platinums. I think they're just going to make platinums from here on out, like, pretty simple. a lot of the newer Platinums coming out are just not as hard as like older PS3 and early PS4 games, and I think that's on purpose. I think Sony wants people to get Platinums more easily so they could become trophy hunters and buy more games for trophies. Like that is definitely a strategy people are using, I think. And I know a lot of people are upset about that. Like, Platinums are easy now, what's the point? But I think it's cool for people that want to just get into the trophy hunting scene and just get a bunch of Platinums, right? For cool games they want to play. It's whatever though. There's a bunch of games I tried out and just didn't play. I do want to go back and play some of these though. Like all of these actually. Klonoa, we'll get to that. Metal Gear Rising, oh my god, I played so many games and didn't finish them. Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm actually 20 hours into Yakuza Like a Dragon. I need to finish that game. Aerial Knights Never Yield. I got both of these stacks, PS4 and a PS5. Never Yield is a game I've also been meaning to play for a while. It's an auto runner where you just kind of like jump, slide, and dodge obstacles. Yeah, it's like Bit Trip Runner in a way, and it has some really good music, surprisingly enough. It definitely lacks polish, however, this was made by a single person, and I completely respect the developer of this game for working on this by themselves. Like, literally, one person created this game, and I do recommend it. Like, it's pretty cheap, it has 2 stacks, and it's a pretty easy platinum. And here we go, Klonoa! Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series. I am so happy that this game exists. I'm happy. I'm happy about it existing. That being said, I was never a Klonoa fan. I never grew up with the series. I never played these games. I did play Klonoa 1 on the PSP like a year ago when I downloaded a bunch of games on that. And it was pretty cool. For Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series is a remastered collection of Klonoa 1 from the PS2 or PS1 and Klonoa 2 from the PS2. And it is an okay remaster. I think visually it doesn't really look that good. That being said, I do appreciate that Bandai Namco put in the effort to even like make this a thing. Because like gameplay wise it's pretty solid. I'm pretty sure it plays like the originals just fine. But you just for the most part you have to collect all of the collectibles, which are pretty easy to pretty hard to miss. And if you do miss them, you go back into levels and get them, beat both games, beat all the bosses, and beat the secret levels at the end of the game. Nothing crazy, just get all the collectibles, which are the residents in each of the areas, or in Klonoa 2, which are all like the Moment dolls, I think. Just get all of those, complete the Chamber of Fun, Chamber of Horrors, which are the 2 secret levels, and complete the secret level in Klonoa 1, the Extra Vision, and just beat both games, like I said. Pretty simple platinum. It took me like 15 hours, I think. I will say, though, I was not too fond of this remaster at first. Because at first, I was playing the PS4 version. And for whatever reason, I have no idea if this is a PS5 issue, but the game stutters every, 5 seconds, and I don't even know how I got to, the final level of Klonoa 1 before I dropped it, but it was so bad. I don't even know. The PS5 version, I thought this was an issue with the collection itself. I thought maybe this was oh man, they just did not playtest this shit, and I was never gonna play Klonoa. But I booted up the PS5 version, and it was completely fine. Whatever you do, if you buy this game, just skip the PS4 version. They're never gonna patch it. I know for a fact they won't patch it. If they do, I'll be pretty surprised and pretty happy. But on PS5, at least PS5, I don't know if this is an issue on PS4. There is an issue with stuttering on the PS4 version. Thankfully, it is a free upgrade. You get both versions for the same price, so you could just play the PS5 version, no problem. Speaking of another Bandai Namco remake, Pac-Man World Re-PAC is a great remake. This is a game I never played before. I played Pac-Man World 2 growing up, and I never played Pac-Man World 1. I think my only experience with Pac-Man World 1 was the Game Boy Advance port, or not port, but demake, and that version was awful. This is a very well-made remake. They did a lot to change the game, to make it less frustrating, and not necessarily easy, but there's a lot of bullshit in the original from what I've heard. And they did change a lot of that. And the game itself feels good. It feels a lot more modern than I think the original was. And Pac-Man World Re-PAC for the Platinum, this one wasn't easy for one trophy. And I'll get into that. But just beat all the bosses, get all of the collectibles. You have to get 100%. So you have to do good in all of the levels enough to get... I think it's 765,000 score overall. And that can be a little annoying. Because you do have to replay levels to be... You have to really get everything. You have to defeat all of the enemies. You have to get the slots at the end to get score. You have to, like, beat bosses without dying and stuff like that. To even get a score close to 765,000 to get the magic key and get it 100%. That was the last trophy I had to do, but it wasn't the hardest trophy. The hardest trophy in this entire game is clearing round 9 of original Pac-Man, because you can play original Pac-Man in this game. And for whatever reason, they tie a trophy to getting to round 9 in Pac-Man. Now you might think that's easy or whatever if you don't even know what Pac-Man is, but it's not. Getting to round 9 of original Pac-Man without losing all of your lives requires a lot of skill in Pac-Man. And by skill, I mainly just mean knowing the pattern. That is all you need to know for Pac-Man, for beating Pac-Man, is memorizing a pattern. Because if you memorize 3 different patterns, there's pattern 1, 2, and 3, you could go as far as you want in Pac-Man. Obviously, it gets harder and harder each time, but 3 separate patterns. You have to look up a video and like memorize the patterns. That's what I had to do. I've never been good at Pac-Man, but after watching the video on the patterns and like memorizing them for like maybe 3 to 4 hours, it was pretty natural to me. Like I think I could do this again, no problem. And that, for a lot of people, will be the Platinum Killer. You just have to have faith, right? You have to just give it your all. You have to keep playing Pac-Man until you're good at it. That's literally how you get the trophy. Just keep playing Pac-Man. Memorize the patterns. That's it. Really good remake. I really hope this gets a Pac-Man World 2 remake, because Pac-Man World 2 was what I grew up with. It was one of my favorite games as a kid. I never beat it, and I really hope they go back and remake those 2 games, Pac-Man World 2 and Pac-Man World 3, even though I don't think Pac-Man World 3 is a very good game. MultiVersus. This was a big thing for a while, and I was really into it when it first came out. MultiVersus is a Smash-like game with Warner Brothers characters. So, Batman, Shaggy, Adventure Time characters, stuff like that, and I was really into it. The beta came out, the open beta came out July 23rd, and I just kind of went crazy. This Platinum is also pretty easy, for the most part. Maybe not to some, but all you really have to do is play the game. Like, play 500 matches in a party. That is going to be a grind. You have to play with a friend 500 times. And that could take a while. I think this took me 38 hours in total, and there's like a lot of miscellaneous stuff that you could honestly do in custom games and just do it with bots. Like, all of this stuff you could do with bots, and that's what I did. But, yeah, just play 500 matches, win, I think it's, how many matches? Win 300? Yeah, I think it's win 300 matches, there we go. Winning 300 might be hard for some, but just, I don't know. Get good at the game, I guess. I don't know. I played a lot of Smash, so I know how this game works. It was pretty easy to pick up for me, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I might even go for the PS4 Platinum, which is another stack, but it's not an auto pop, so I'll have to go through it again. and get like play another 38 hours, which is fine because this is a live service game and it gets new characters like every 2 weeks or so. So it's always nice to go back to. I think they just added Gizmo and I haven't even played that yet. Bugsnax, here we go. Bugsnax is a game I didn't think I would like. My friend has been trying to get me to play this for like the past year or so, and I was just like, I'll play it eventually, but it's not something I want to really play right now. And I played it, and it was really fun. Like, I was genuinely surprised by this game. In Bugsnax, it's like, I think it took me like 12 hours to get the platinum, and all you really have to do is, well, you have to do a lot, actually. Yeah. You have to, like, beat the game, right? Just beat the game, get it on 100%, do all the side quests, transform all of the grumpuses, all of that. I think there's a missable trophy somewhere here. Maybe. I think it's this one. You have to do this, or you have to replay the whole mission. Not really missable, you could just go back and do it. Yeah, Bugsnax. There was a platinum I needed for 98 and 99, and I just went with Bugsnax. There's a Bugsnax stack right here. This is a partial pop, so you could transfer your save data from PS5 to PS4 or PS4 to PS5, and all you really have to do is do a couple things. It took me like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you get the platinum. There's just a couple things you have to do after you transfer your save. So that was platinum 99 and 98. Here we go. Here is the final platinum of the video. Castlevania Requiem, or Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, a collection of 2 Castlevania games. A collection of 2 of the best Castlevania games. And oh my god. So I wasn't a Castlevania fan really at all my entire life. It wasn't until 2020, until I played these games, that I realized that I really like Castlevania. Castlevania is now up there. It is up there. It's like one of my favorite franchises now. I don't know what happened, but these games are masterpieces. Especially Symphony of the Night, but Rondo of Blood is my favorite Classicvania game. Symphony of the Night is my favorite Metroidvania game. And Symphony of the Night is the game that also introduced me to Metroidvania games as a whole. And if you don't know the difference between Classicvania and Metroidvania, well, Metroidvania is more open. You discover, like, one open map. And Classicvania is like it's like levels. You go through level 1 through 9, or whatever, and just, like, platform. It's very linear. Like, it's very linear compared to Metroidvanias. They're 2 completely different things. But Symphony of the Night is a masterpiece. I don't think this is a secret by any means. Everyone that's played this game, like, usually loves it. And I didn't expect it to be bad, but oh my god, man. It changed me. Like, it's such a good game. And it really just, I don't know. I think this being my 100th platinum was worth it. There was another platinum I was going to go for 100, but it would have taken a lot longer, so I decided against it. But for the time being, Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood as my 100th platinum is fitting. And I really do like the platinum name, A Miserable Little Pile of Secrets. That is a very, very fun reference to the original Symphony of the Night. So, the platinum for Rondo and Symphony of the Night. Honestly, I mean, there's a couple things in here that are, I wouldn't say annoying, but like time-consuming. Like getting 100% or 200% map completion took a bit of time. There's some miscellaneous stuff in here, like defeating certain bosses, defeating certain enemies, using certain items. Like, there's a bunch of items in Symphony of the Night. You pick up a bunch of weapons, and you could buy a lot of weapons. You have to buy a lot of stuff. You have to beat the game a second time with Richter Belmont, which is it's just a completely different game at that point. And with Rondo of Blood, which is a different game, by the way, you have to get 100%, rescue all the people, and also play the game beat all the routes, get 100%. I should have just said play the game, get 100%. Complete any stage with a no damage bonus, which honestly is pretty easy on the first stage. Defeat Dracula twice with each character. And that's it for Rondo. Rondo was honestly the easiest one to do. Symphony of the Night required a lot more, just because it's such an open game, and there's a lot to do in it. Symphony of the Night, okay, listen, buy this game. Please, this game is so good. Castlevania Requiem on PS4, collection of 2 of the best Castlevania games. And yes, the collection itself, while the presentation is pretty low budget, and it honestly looks bootleg, the games themselves in this collection are amazing, and I really hope Konami does something with Castlevania in the coming years. Hopefully. Konami's been pretty silent for a while. We'll see what happens. But that is it. Don't worry about the 1% Need for Speed heat up here. I'm probably never going to play this game again. I didn't really care about it. But yeah, that's it for my update video on my Platinum Trophy Collection. And if you like this video, or if you liked my previous video on my trophy collection, feel free to like and subscribe, because I am going to be doing more of these in the future. And don't worry, if you are a fan of my channel and don't like this trophy stuff, I'm going to be doing other stuff as well. The same stuff I've been doing. I have a Little Big Planet video I'm planning to make in the coming weeks, maybe a month from now, and that's going to be a video you guys have been waiting for a long time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying this long. And I'll see you guys next time.